Jesus, keep me. God bless you today. Let me take a moment just to greet you and say, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. We've had such a good time in here today. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Don't you feel all right? I tell you, that's what a little praise will do for you. Praise will kind of lift you up. You make what feeling so good when you get to praising it. For my blood to kind of pump a little bit better. I feel all right. I feel when you praise it. That's why the songwriter would say, when the praises go up, they can't help but come down. I just unlocked the door. They had to come down. I was praising him. I was sitting up praising. And the blessings had to come. Because you know, whatever you put out, you're going to get back. Reap what you sow. So if we send out the blessings, send out the praises, surely the blessings will come. God bless you today. We certainly honor God for you today. And for you being here, we thank God for you. It's a blessing to have you here today. Amen. And my wife is here with me today. Thank God for you. Amen. God bless you. I think she's feeling a little bit better. A little bit. I saw the hand moving a little bit. That's what the Holy Ghost will do every now and then. Give you a little more shake than what you thought you had. Thank the Lord for it. God. Evangelist Peters, God bless you. She's here, got her shout on today, and we praise God for her. Don't make me get up off that keyboard and get my shout on. I don't want you to get it all by yourself. I need some of that too, granted myself. I don't mind. God bless you today. You blessed us really good today. Thank God for each of you, all of our guests here, our visitors. Thank God for you. Thank God for you. My family back there, they're cheering. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yeah, definitely. Lord, pray, Lord. Pray for Mama, Lord. Pray for Sister Lisa. Pray for her. Her hands is full. And I say, he is full. Her hands is full. Thank God for them. They're such wonderful babies. Thank God. Sarah's birthday is today. A teenager. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Here we go. Oh, Lord. Oh, they've been talking about gun control. My baby, she 10. Y'all pray for me. Pray for me. Pray for the preacher. Preacher right on the news. Pray, Lord. Pray hard. Thank God for you. Such a blessing and glad that you're here. Birthdays, they are to be celebrated. Enjoy them. I would tell my wife, is what I share with her a lot of times about our babies, our grandbabies we have. I want them to be kids as long as they can be. Don't grow up so fast. I know teenage and next thing you're going to want some driver's license. And when you get you some license, you're going to realize, oh, I got a license, but I ain't got no car. Then you're going to want a car. But the era we live in, the time we live in, suburban, they don't want a regular car. They want fancy cars. I was down at the ball game with Brother Wade last night. Thank God for you, Sister Wade. And then I said, babe, look at that young boy right there. Young boy come out the game, can't be but 15 or 16, get down in a Mustang. I had to pray that I didn't get jealous all that. What he doing? He can't spell Mustang. Boy, this time we live in. Boy, they saw that Hyundai Elantra with them bullet hole rims I had on it. Boy, that man, they just barely go. Oh, it took me about 30 minutes to get to school one day. We were 10 minutes from school. It took me 30 minutes to get. Oh, have mercy. This boy get in the Mustang. You know about a Mustang. And it was pretty too. Y'all pray for the preacher. Pray for him. Pretty white Mustang. This boy here. Lord have mercy. So we praying, Zara, that you stay a child or a youngster as long as possible. I'll say it to the youngsters. Stay. Get some bills in your name. I still want your mind changing about it. Can't wait to be grown. Wait till they come in and got your name printed there. Monthly. Come when they got the amount in red. Come in black, you still good. But that next one come in that amount in red, that means they want their money right now. You don't bring it to them right now. You can pray all you want to pray. Talk in tongues if you want to. It ain't gonna change nothing. It's turned off. Lord help me. Yeah, stay a child as long as you possibly can. Adulthood and wanting to grow so fast, it changes things. It changes. Some things are for the better, but trust me, you have it good right now. As good as it can get. And somebody else is paying the bills, and somebody else is fixing the food, and buying the food, and buying the clothes, and the shoes, and somebody else doing it right now. And you real funny acting about it. Wait till you have to buy it yourself. You don't want nobody stepping on your stuff. You don't want them coughing on it too much. You done paid for it, so stay a child as long as you can. And parents, enjoy them as children as much as you can. I know sometimes they knuckleheads, I understand. But enjoy them. After a while, they'll be walking across the stage, getting a diploma, and you'll be asking yourself, where the time go? So enjoy those moments. When they're a child, they say something real ignorant. Just like, girl, you young, you crazy. Enjoy. You won't be able to get it back. It's a good time. God bless you today. I won't hold you long. I'm in Luke chapter 7. Luke chapter 7 today. We have been discussing, sharing in our Bible study and in our message on the last time about our interceding for others, standing in the gap is what we'll talk about today. Interceding for others, being a mediator. The church is to be a mediator for the world. Because Jesus was a mediator for us. He is still a mediator. He's like our lawyer. Standing before God for us. So this is what we want to kind of share and help us to understand our place in the grand scheme of things. Luke chapter 7. I'm going to read 10 verses there. Luke chapter 7, verses 1 through 10. Are you there? Yes, sir. Now when he had ended all his sayings in the audience of the people, he entered into Capernaum, and a certain centurion's servant, who was dear unto him, was sick and ready to die. And when he heard of Jesus, he sent unto him the elders of the Jews, beseeching him that he would come and heal his servant. And when they came to Jesus, they besought him instantly, saying that he was worthy for whom he should do this. For he loved our nation, and he had built us a synagogue. Then Jesus went with them, and when he was now not far from the house, the centurion sent friends to him, saying unto him, Lord, trouble not thyself, for I am not worthy that thou should enter under my roof. Wherefore neither thought I myself worthy to come unto thee. But say a word, and my servant shall be healed. For I also am a man set under authority, having under me soldiers. And I say unto one, go, and he goeth. And to another, come, and he cometh. And to my servant, do this, and he doeth. When Jesus heard these things, he marveled at him and turned him about and said unto the people that followed him, I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel. And they that were sent, returning to the house, found the servant whole that had been sick. God bless you today. Amen. Standing in the gap. Amen. Standing in the gap. Woo. Standing in the gap. Let me say this, that the world is spinning seemingly out of control. The world is seemingly spinning before our eyes, out of control. Amen. There are tragedies and evil acts against innocent people, and it's always flooding our news. If you're on the internet, it's all on your news line. If you watch the news, that's all you see, bad news. The world seems to be spinning out of control. Let me just go down a little list. Can I do that for you? Just a few days ago, there was an 11-year-old girl, 11-year-old who killed his grandmother. Yes, killed his grandmother, and then killed himself because he didn't want to clean his room. They were having an argument, and he killed his grandmother and killed himself, and the grandfather found them both dead as he heard them in the other room arguing because he did not want to clean his room. A 15-year-old boy just killed his mother and buried her in the backyard because they were arguing about him having some bad grades. 15 years old. Killed her and then buried her, his mom, in the yard after having an argument because she wanted him to get better grades and he think he too grown to get some good grades, and took it up on himself to take her life, but then buried her. You're talking about adding insult to injury. Killed her, then buried her. A 10-year-old child came home from school to the daycare and took a 6-month-old baby, dropped the baby on the floor, and then stomped the baby in the face and killed the baby. It's just a few days ago. A 10-year-old came home to the daycare, took the 6-month-old baby, dropped the baby on the floor, and then stomped the baby in the face until the baby died. Thousand Oaks shooting there in California. Man walks in and killed 11 people, including himself, 12. Just walks into a place that they're enjoying each other, enjoying friendship, having a good time, speaking to each other, talking, and somebody just walks in. 11 people killed in the Pittsburgh synagogue a couple of weeks ago. A man just walks into the synagogue, the house of God, house of worship, where you ought to think, seem like you're safe. And the man walks up with his hateful self in the synagogue, place of worship, and took 11 lives. 25 people just died in the California wildfires. They talked about 5 of them were in a car trying to get away, and the fire caught them. And 5 people died in a car, just burned to death. A Baltimore teacher who was a well-respected teacher, she was punched in the face by a student. Punched in the face by a student. I think there were 2 students having a disagreement or an argument. And so she stepped there to try to maybe right some wrongs. And one of the students punched her. Maryland police officer rapes a woman during a traffic stop. Supposed to protect and serve. That's right. But he pulls her over and then gonna take something from her. Help us, Jesus. A Texas teacher, this is just a few days ago, took his life in the classroom at a junior high school, at a middle school. So imagine now the trauma that has come to these children because somebody who they are supposed to respect and look up to at the school has taken his life in the classroom. Help us, Jesus. An Alabama fan went to the game down at LSU, stopped into a bar, and 2 LSU fans killed him over a ball game, over a child's game. Took his life because he's wearing an Alabama hat and they're LSU fans and Alabama just gave it to you. And over a ball game. Foolishness. Took a man that something you cannot replace. You took a man's life. You can't get that back. A few weeks ago, a man burned the house down of the opposing parents' soccer team. So 2 teams are playing soccer, 1 team loses, and the losing parent goes and burns the house down of one of the parents on the winning team. Over help us, Jesus. I just want you to see how out of control our world is spiraling. And I don't want to frighten you too much, but I got to tell you, the world is not going to get any better. You want to know why I can't wait to see him? Because this world ain't getting no better. That's why we here praise him and can't wait to be caught up to meet him. Because this world is not getting better. You better get close to Jesus. You better get a relationship with him so we can be caught up to meet him in the air. Because the world is coming to an end. Amen. 3 children were killed at the bus stop by an unattended driver. She wasn't paying attention. Didn't recognize it was a bus and the bus had stopped. And she just kept driving. And somebody's mama got a call. In the past 325 days, there has been recorded 307 mass shootings. That's almost a mass shooting a day. In the past 325 days, there has been recorded 307 mass shootings. Newlywed couple got married, got on the helicopter to go enjoy the honeymoon, and the helicopter crashed. Amen. 5-year-old girl had her birthday. 5 days later, they found her dead, killed by her mama's boyfriend. Amen. Midterm talk is everywhere. Voter fraud everywhere. Political corruption talked about all the time. Amen. I don't have to go any further. If some of us just kind of look at our lives, we'll see some troubles and travesties and tragedies that have taken place even in our own lives. Yes. We need the Lord. Yes. We need the Lord. Can I say this, that God, though, he doesn't need us to worry or need us complaining about our problems, but rather he needs us to be a light in a dark situation. This world is not getting any better, but he needs somebody who's going to pray anyway. Somebody going to talk about me anyway. I know it's rough. I know it seems like the sun is not shining, but I need somebody to stand up and say, God is still a good God. He's still in control. Don't care how bad it gets. He needs somebody to be a voice in the wilderness, to be a voice in the chaos. I know you got tears in your eyes and your heart is broken, but God is still working things out. He needs somebody to stand in the gap for these people, to pray for them. When you know that folk suffering when folk are in different ills. And think about the parents who have lost children, the folk who have lost friends. And if we don't be careful, people will get mad at God.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
They'll get upset and think that God has done this to them. But it's not God. God may have stepped back, but it's the devil. And people, when they get to these particular places, they need the church to stand up and pray and say, God is still in control. You need somebody to stand in the gap. You need somebody to stand in the gap. When you become self-aware, you realize where God has brought you from, you realize you cannot look down on others or think just because it's them or better them than me. But the same way trouble is at somebody else's dress, it will soon get to your house. That's why we got to pray for people. Trouble can find us everywhere. In our text today, and I'm going to close right now, in our text today, the centurion, he has a servant who is sick that can't pray for himself. And he knows that Jesus is the answer. This is what I talk about. When you know you got the answer, you're going to stand in the gap. You ought to stand in there like you know you got the answer. I know the world is out of control, but I got an answer. I know bad things happen, but I got an answer. I know it looks bad, but trust me, I have an answer. If you call on Jesus, call on him. Tell folk when your heart get heavy, just holler Jesus. Tears in your eyes, just holler Jesus. Bad stuff having holler Jesus. Like I discovered, he's not hard to hear. He hear you when you call. I stand in the gap. I stand in the gap for folk, and here's what I try to tell you, church. Listen, you ain't got to know everybody's business either. You ain't got to be trying to figure out what she going through, what she got going on in the house, and who she love and who she don't. You ain't got to worry about all that. If you're going to stand in the gap, just stand there and say, Jesus, take me. You ain't got to add up nobody's bills and see what they get their income and try to figure out what they got. You trying to calculate what they got and they ain't got. You don't know nothing about folks. Can't nobody tell you about me like me. You don't know me. And many times we'll come in here with smiles and we dress it up, and you know, we put our hair on, or you know, you dyed and you fried, just how we're gonna do it. And we paint it up and we put the nice tie on, we put our suit and we become creased, but you don't know what we're going through in our lives. You don't have a clue. Folks going through all manner of things. That's why we gotta stand together. We gotta pray for people. We gotta pray for them. The centurion, he said, Jesus, I'm not worthy for you to come to my house. I'm not worthy for you to be here. But listen, I understand what it means to be in control of people. Now, the centurion explains to Jesus about his own experience. Here is the point here. You have experience with God yourself. This is what makes you a good gatekeeper, a good person to stand in the gap when you have experienced yourself. That means when you see other crying people, you ain't looking at them like, girl, what you crying for? You know you've been crying yourself. You see somebody with a broken heart over some foolishness, and you're like, if I was you, I would. You know you've been a fool too. Everybody plays. Sometimes. Come on now. You got to stand in the gap for people. But you need experience, so when you stand in the gap and folk are down, you can look at them and say, been there and done that. But how am I going to get up? Been there and done that. You need experience with God. And you need experience in life. So that's why, you know, it's good that we be gatekeepers and standing in the gap for our children, because they think they know everything. They think they got all the answers. And every now and then you really step back and just kind of let them trip and bump their head. Every night. I ain't gonna let you kill yourself, but I'm gonna let you bump your head. That's how God will do us from time to time. We think we got all the answers. I'll step back and let you kind of do your own thing. So yeah, you done made a few purchases that you want to take them back now, but you can't. They're yours now. But God wants you to have experience with Him. So when you have experience, you can tell others about your experience. I'm standing in the gap. I'm praying for you because I know what you're going through. Now listen to this. We don't know exactly how people feel. You don't ever know what people are really feeling, but when you've had the experience, you can tell them, I've been there, I know what you're going through. I know some of the emotions you may go on, the emotional roller coasters you may have. Some days you may feel like this, and some days you feel like this. But you don't know particularly what people are feeling, but when you got experience, you know what they're going through. So when folk are crying, this is why the scripture tells us to weep with those who are weeping.
Yes, Lord.
That's when you're a good gatekeeper. That's when you know how to stand in the gap. And so the centurion, he has a man that is sick. And he says, Jesus, I'm not worthy for you to come to my house. I'm not worthy for you to even come to where we are. But send your word.
Yes, Lord. Send your word.
And I believe that your word will heal him. Scripture says that Jesus recognizes the man's faith as turns and tells the other people, I have not seen any faith like this ever before. I wonder if you're going to stand in the gap. Can God say, I have never seen any faith like this? When you're in the gap and you know you got the answer, you got to stand in there and trust God. It's going to get rough sometimes when you're trying to advocate for some people. It's going to get tough sometimes, but when you know you got the answer. Stand there with a shirt, and the centurion said, I control people. I tell some to go, and they go. I tell others to come back, and they come back. I tell one to do this and one to do that, and they do it. He said, so I know if I'm just a man, and you Jesus, the healer, the savior, I know you can. I got no question about it. But you got the answer. That's what you got to tell. You know how smart you've been. You know how brilliant you've been. And you know the things that you've been able to accomplish. You know in your life. You know all the things you've been able to maneuver and master and work out. And you know within yourself, Lord, I have done a pretty good job. But now you know if it's somebody over you that gave you the sense that you got, you know he got to have it. I didn't get this on my own. The Lord gave it to me. Jesus is standing in the gap. Lord have mercy.
Yes, sir.
So in Hebrews chapter 9, verse 25, the writer says, Lord have mercy,
yes, sir.
that Jesus is able to save us from the uttermost.
All right.
Whoever comes to God by Jesus, because the scripture said he lives to make intercession.
That's right. That's right. Yes, sir.
The only reason Jesus is alive
Yes, sir.
is to stand in the gap for you and me. I know the devil want to get you, but God wants you more. And the only reason I'm alive, Lord, is so I can stand in the gap and keep the devil off of me. Stand in the gap.
Yes, sir.
Stand in the gap.
Yes, sir.
I'm done. Stand in the gap.
Yes, sir.
Jesus says I'm alive for the simple reason to keep you alive. So what he says in Luke chapter 22, he told Peter, he said, Peter, you're so special that the devil wants you just like God wants. But I'm praying for you that your faith won't fail. The reason he prays for Peter because he understands Peter's going to deny him a few days later. And if you deny me and then you don't get converted, I'm going to lose a good soldier. He says, so I want to pray for you that your faith won't fail. So even though you failed, you still going to come to your sense. I still need God. So the centurion here, he speaks of his unworthiness. He speaks of the fact that I cannot be worthy enough to have you come to my house. I cannot have you, I am not worthy enough to have you come to where I am. But because you're Jesus and because of who you are and because you're worthy, if you say the word, he'll be delivered. The Bible said that when Jesus got there, he turned around and told the people, I have not seen any faith like this before. And the Bible said that when the servants got back to the house that the man was healed. And that tells me that Jesus is a good gatekeeper. Jesus is a good gatekeeper. Jesus knows how to stand in the gap for all of us. And the Bible said that he's standing in the gap and he's alive just to keep us alive. That's good news to me right now. It made me want to shout because I know Jesus is alive. The reason I know he's alive because he went down in the grave and stayed 3 long days. But he rose from the morning with power. tell you, he died. I wasn't worthy to die for myself. But God, he died. He had a son and he sent him down. Because I couldn't stand there for you. And I sure couldn't stand there for me. The sin was too great in the world. I need somebody to stand in the gap. He sent his son Jesus. Came through 42 generations. And marched him through judgment hall. He never said a mumbling word. They whipped him all night long. They put a cross on his back. Sent him out the Golgotha hill. He hung on the cross for your sins and mine. I'm talking about he stood in the gap that you can stand for yourself. They took him off the cross. Put him in a barn tomb. I couldn't go in the grave for you and I. But Jesus did. He rose. He rose. He rose from the grave. With all power. All power. Standing in the gap. You got the answer. You stand in the gap for your children. Stand in the gap for your loved ones. Stand in the gap for your co-workers. Stand in the gap because you got the answer. Well, what's the answer, preacher? Jesus is the answer. If you got Jesus, you got the answer. You can help people. You can show people a better way. Because you have the answer. The centurion is so delighted when he gets back home and the word has been sent to heal his servant. My servant couldn't go and get his own healing. So what I did, I showed up out there where Jesus was and said, Jesus, I'm just standing in the gap for somebody who couldn't make it on their own. The delight they must have, the joy they must have, the celebration that must go on when he gets back to the house. And that's it, that worker, that servant is healed of his sins. Jesus declares that all we need is faith in him when we're in the gap. And I'm praying for my loved ones. I'll tell you this, especially when you're praying for them when they're out of your reach. She way down there somewhere.
Thank you, Lord. Thank you,
You
Lord.
way up here somewhere.
Thank you, Lord.
You can't get there fast.
Thank you, Lord.
But you can send a word. I can't be there, but Jesus, you already there. Stand in the gap, Lord. They be protected just like you were there. As a matter of fact, even better. When you get there, he gonna have you and me wrapped up in his blood. Thank you, Lord. The scripture says he lives to stand in the gap. Like that's his purpose. I want to stand between you and trouble. That's what he lives for. I want to stand to be your Lord. He lives for that. Thank God. Thank God for Jesus. The doors of the church are open. You can come by letter. Christian Experience, a candidate for baptism. Come. You want prayer? Come. We'll pray with you. Pray for you. God bless you today. Standing in the gap.